If you're an anime fan, there's no doubt that you've heard of one particular series that has captured the attention of the entire world over the past few years. This series is so popular now that it has amassed enough momentum to even receive a theatrical movie release. I'm of course referring to Kaguya-Sama, Love is War. And yes, Kaguya-Sama, The First Kiss That Never Ends, was recently released for a 2-day limited theater run in honor of Valentine's Day this past week. I am a huge fan of this show, as are so many of you. Like, I remember back in my work days, I worked in a place that was, a majority that of women, and they would babble on about the new series of Love Island, and, like, they'd strangely ask me if I'd watched it. And I was like, Love Island? Nah. Love is War, mate. The only love story I care about is the one between Kaguya Shinomiya and Miyuki Shirogane. Your thing can get wrecked in comparison. We live in different worlds. Love Island. No. So, yeah, you bet I was beyond excited when I saw it was coming to the cinema, and I booked those tickets, man. Yeah, I watched this series religiously with my fiance, and I just shoved the phone with the news in her face. I was like, woman, we are going, and then I bashed out my card details in a fit of giggly joy booking these tickets. It was a 2-in-1, really. You know, 1, we get to see the Kaguya movie, and 2, it's an ultra romantic date for us. You see what I did there? So yeah, I wanted to share my experience with the movie as spoiler-free as I possibly can, and I want to also answer the question you may have had in regards to the story. Does it end here? Does it continue? Etc, etc. Reason I want to answer that question is because me and the woman are also anime-only fans with this series, and we did ask ourselves those same questions. Now, I know the manga bros know the score, so enjoy my thoughts on said movie with context, and anime-onlys enjoy my thoughts in a non-spoilerish way, as well as the answer to your question. And before we get into the video, let's see if we can hit 500 likes on this video. You know, it really helps me out and the video a ton with that YouTube algorithm. So yeah, I'd appreciate that. Now, shameless plug aside, let's get started, shall we? So at the end of season 3, we got the big climax to Miyuki and Kaguya's story so far in probably the greatest confession of all time, leading to the big kiss we have also desperately wanted to see for so long. However, with the kiss happening, I did feel a slight sadness of, you know, well, is that it for them now? Because, you know, a lot of romance anime tend to end on the confession, and yeah, I'm just not ready to let go of these two yet. Well, it's only just getting started, people, so don't worry. So the movie, as the Christmas season approaches, the couple's passionate kiss only creates more problems for them. Although season 3 came to this very satisfying conclusion, the kiss turned out to be way more passionate than Miyuki and Kaguya had imagined. Like, they haven't spoke since the kiss, then there's the whole college in America situation, that's a thing. You know, we're almost back to square one. So the movie follows the couple for about a week in December, leading up to that wonderful time of the year. Yes, Christmas. They are both living in the aftermath of the kiss before reality sets in, which sends them into a state of complete panic. It's now that their deadlock has been broken, and it's even less apparent where they stand than usual. It's just mayhem. Like, the terms of their conflict has now completely changed as a result of that kiss, and like here, it's all about the next move. So this movie covers the mini arc after the Culture Festival arc, and it was just done so well, to be honest. For me, it really presented the show in a completely different way. Like, it was definitely completely different from what I was expecting, but in a good way. The movie starts in the traditional Kaguya sense and was like hysterical, man. Like absolute peak Kaguya-Sama comedy right away, and I was all for it. You guys ain't ready for Kaguya-chan 2, by the way. That was absolutely amazing. Anyway, then the middle got a little completely different in a sense where the comedy aspect was, you know, still kind of there, but it was attacking the more serious side to not only the story, but the characters in general. I mean, this has always been a thing in Kaguya-Sama, to be fair. Like, they tackle both comedy and the emotional aspects perfectly without ever losing that well-tuned blend. However, that blend did seem off to me in this middle section, and we just went straight into the serious side of the show. Which I'm all for, but it just caught me off guard, you know? It really honed in on some deeper topics in regards to opening up your true self to another. And I gotta say, the movie heavily emphasized this on Kaguya's front. Like, we did get to see a bit of Miyuki's backstory and his feelings, but nowhere near as much as Kaguya's. Like, at times I felt the balance was a little off in that aspect. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore Kaguya's character and her struggles were depicted beautifully here, and I'm always here for that, but I feel like I just wanted a bit more from Miyuki, like not only his own feelings and backstory, but in his actions throughout the movie as well. You'll know what I mean, you know, if you've seen it, read it, etc. And I'm just a massive fan of my boy Miyuki, and I thought we were going to see his old brilliant ways, but we didn't get that here. However, the movie's ending was just so freaking romantic. I'm talking ultra mega special super awesome romantic, and it just filled my heart with those giddy little butterflies that just made me feel so truly happy in this world. Man, the memories, I'll never forget it. Also, I've got to say, the ending did tie up those concerns I had with that middle section, as it made a lot more sense to me upon that part of the story. And as well as that, the comedy seemed to return brilliantly. All was well in the world again. Now, I gotta say, I have only seen this movie once, and like I said, I'm an anime-only watcher for the series, so when I give it that second watch, or I actually decide to read the manga, I'm sure I'll pick up on that part of the story a lot better with hindsight and all that, but that was my only real criticism with the movie personally.
Yo, editing 414 here, IRL in the raw format. So I just went back and I actually reread those chapters that the movie covers, and I was so wrong. That middle section is executed so incredibly beautifully. Amazing. Yes. Hindsight, like, so reading through this the second time, looking at that, like, I don't know what was in my popcorn that day, extra salt, I don't know. But yeah, I should have probably checked this out and reread these manga chapters before making this video. But like, as I was going through it, I was like, I don't sound like 100% sure. So I reread, and it was just done so well. I mean, like, that middle section, it does still focus on Kaguya more than it does Shirogane, but it's just done so incredibly well, you know? And just ignore what I said about that middle section. It was just absolutely sublime, and rereading through it, it was just done so well. I love how it explores their characters in a kind of different way from what we're used to. Yes, Kaguya has that, like, you know, that deeper side to it, but yeah, I agree, the comedy side was toned down a little bit, but it was still there. It was still there when I was reading these moments. I was like, oh yeah, that bit, man, how could I say that? So yeah, comedy was still there, but I think what I'm trying to say is when they went into the deeper side with the characters, particularly Kaguya, they've done it in a different way. They've dived into that a lot more. So that whole like middle bit there, just ignore that. So yeah, like, if you guys have seen the movie, give me a slap in the comments for like saying what I did about the middle section, and if you haven't seen it yet, look forward to that man. Like, as a whole, it was absolutely beautiful. That middle section was arguably better than the beginning, and no, the end was freaking insane. Ignore it, amazing, absolutely amazing. But yeah, ignore that, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video.
But the movie as a whole was near enough perfect, to be fair. On reflection, I did really enjoy that deeper look into this part of the story, plus the extreme length at which its gags go. They're just so wild, just so over the top. They were expertly on show here. So yeah, that blend I was talking about was still there, and like, I feel it wasn't there as much during that middle section of the movie, but like I said, when I rewatch this, I might find that I was wrong there. So let me know your thoughts. Now, Kaguya-Sama's strong suit has always been its top tier characters, and they were all brilliantly on show here. You know, the soundtrack was also peak Kaguya-Sama, and the overall experience of the movie was just really sick. Definitely excited to give it that second watch, that's for sure. So the question looms, and it did loom on my mind as an anime-only fan, in that, is this movie the end of the Kaguya-Sama story? I was torn between the result of the movie and that there was still aspects that haven't been cleared up. Plus, I still want to see more of Miyuki and Kaguya's relationship, man. I don't want them to go. Well, good news. It's actually far from over. In fact, we are only about halfway through the story. This movie covered the manga chapters 142 through to 151 from Kaguya-Sama's volume 15. Now, we do know that the manga ended last year with chapter 281, if I remember that rightly, so we have a lot more in store from the looks of it. Especially with the other characters such as the god tier Ishigami. I did read that the movie didn't show Tsubami's party, which is apparently huge for Ishigami's character, where it covers his story over that same Christmas period. So I imagine whenever we do get season 4, it's gonna kick straight off with that. Now, I believe they left this out because the movie wanted to focus on the aftermath of Kaguya and Miyuki's kiss at the end of season 3 as its main narrative. In the manga, both these events occurred at the same time from what I saw from the manga fans, and it looks like the movie wanted its focus solely on our main two as to not take away any of the impact of their situation. But either way, I'm excited to see more in season 4 as Ishigami is a true freaking legend. Super glad that this isn't the end of the road for Kaguya-Sama just yet in terms of the anime adaptation, and I honestly can't wait for more. Definitely get your eyes on this movie if you haven't seen it yet, and if you have seen it already, make sure to let me know your thoughts on the Kaguya-Sama, the first kiss that never ends movie in the comment section below. And while you wait for the next video to drop, check out this video where I talk about some other romance anime you should check out while you wait for the movie or season 4 of Kaguya-Sama to drop, and I will see you there, man. As always, you take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Peace, peace.